Before we dive into the story, if content like this resonates with you, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below to share your thoughts. Pushpin, every interaction from you helps us grow and continue bringing you more real, heartfelt stories. Thank you for being here. Now let's begin. Sometimes the most painful part isn't betrayal, it's realizing you stayed silent because you weren't sure who you were without the chaos. I anticipated a sense of oddity with her return, expecting the distance to be palpable. Yet, as she stepped through the door, it was as if time had stood still, as if she had never left, as if this place was still her own. In that instant, as I observed the way he gazed at her, it became clear that a change was imminent. And none of us were prepared for the implications of that revelation. Before we embark on this journey, if you have found pleasure in these subtle yet intricate tales, do remember to show your appreciation and subscribe. Your support truly benefits the channel in ways you might not realize, ensuring you stay updated for the next installment. Welcome. If this is your first time here, I trust that you will find pleasure in the tale that unfolds. Let us commence. She kicked off her shoes in the hallway, as if no time had elapsed, as if she still belonged here. Nearly a year had passed since our last encounter, yet within mere moments, she effortlessly occupied every corner of the room once more. She let her bag fall onto the couch, enveloped me in a warm embrace that carried the scent of sunscreen and faded perfume, then cupped my face and said, "God, I missed you." Before we delved into her belongings, we uncorked a bottle of wine. My husband joined us, partly out of courtesy and partly driven by intrigue. I sensed it. He recalled her tales, the tumult, the allure. I doubt he ever envisioned her in our home, particularly not in this manner. She settled in quickly, her feet tucked beneath her, playfully teasing him during dinner, jesting about how dull we had turned. I chuckled, yet I observed intently, for each time she brought a smile to his face, a strange, tight sensation coiled within me, foreign and unsettling. Once we finished our meal, she snatched the sponge away from me before I had the chance to reach for it. "You cooked," she remarked to me. He decanted the wine. "This signifies that I engage in cleaning activities." She had always been this way, exuding confidence, making decisions with ease, and seeming almost too at home in the lives of others. As she scrubbed a plate, she glanced over her shoulder at him and remarked, "Does she ever let you rest, or is it all work for you around here?" I stood still, caught in a moment of sheer disbelief. He let out a nervous laugh. I smiled broadly, yet I sensed it, that change, that subtle tension in her voice that no longer carried the lightness of teasing. After her shower, I offered her one of my robes, a soft one I typically reserved for weekends. She donned it right there in the doorway, without a hint of hesitation or a glance aside. As she entered the living room, her robe draped casually, damp hair cascading softly, still radiating warmth from the shower, I noticed my husband's gaze upon her. Neither of us uttered a word. We lingered in each other's company for a while longer. The wine rendered everything gentle, hazy, serene. Then she inquired, as nonchalantly as ever, if I wanted to be reckless and share the same bed, just like we used to. A chuckle escaped my lips. He did as well, and I replied in the affirmative. The darkness enveloped us, yet slumber eluded every one of us. I reclined on my side, gazing out the window, my eyes wide and unblinking. Behind me I could sense their breaths, his slower than normal, hers too, almost surreal. We shared the space in silence, as if we weren't anticipating the arrival of something significant. Unsure of what the stillness was whispering in sighs, more than it ever had before. Every inch of space that separated us crackled with intensity, not in a boisterous manner but softly, akin to the static that precedes a tempest. The sheets brushed against my skin, sending a shiver through me. Silence enveloped us since the lights extinguished, yet I sensed a change, not in the atmosphere, nor in the space around us but within him. A subtle shift, almost imperceptible, yet significant enough to assure me he was not merely at rest. Then the blanket rustled, a careful whisper of software, followed by a silence so sharp it felt intentional. In that moment, clarity washed over me. She extended her hand towards him. He remained close. He remained silent. He released a breath that was unlike any I had ever heard from him before. I chose not to look back. I found it unnecessary. Their closeness deepened in the quiet, an unspoken tension filling the room. What astonished me the most was not the occurrence itself. It was the simplicity with which I allowed it to unfold. I remained on my side, gazing at the wall, my eyes wide open. The atmosphere that lingered behind me was thick and suffused with warmth. Her voice reached me, gentle and unwavering. She maintained her grip on the situation. She was fully aware of her intentions. He stood poised in the space that separated us, yet increasingly I sensed him shifting his focus toward me, not through his posture but through his gaze. His breath deepened, his demeanor sharpened, more intentional, more poised. It felt as though he was grasping for something perpetually beyond his reach. In that moment I sensed it, his hand seeking mine beneath the soft embrace of the blanket. As his fingers brushed against me, time seemed to pause for a fleeting moment, yet I remained still, unwilling to retreat. He failed to hold on. He simply remained relaxed, silent, aware. I maintained my gaze, peering into the shadows, allowing the moment to envelop us. He remained turned towards her, yet he held on to me firmly. A realization sparked within me. Neither a snap nor a break, merely a shift. I no longer found myself outside in that way. I did not observe the events firsthand. I was involved in it. He sought no approval. He clung to the bond, to my presence. And whatever lay ahead, he desired my presence for it. I remained still, neither facing them nor completely withdrawing. I lay motionless on my side, my eyes wide open in the enveloping darkness. The room fell into silence once more. Yet that silence was far from hollow. The atmosphere was thick, laden with an unspoken tension, as if we were all poised on the brink, yearning for a permission that lingered just out of reach, yet none dared to voice the desire. Then I sensed the blanket move once more, this time with intention. He remained sprawled on his back, while she approached, inching closer, deliberate and unhurried, silent in her intent. I sensed her movements beneath the covers, the subtle shift of her knee beneath the blanket, and the gentle placement of her arm close to him. It was evident, even without witnessing it, that a shift had occurred. She moved at her own pace, savoring each moment, allowing herself to settle in. She glided effortlessly, as if this were a familiar dance. It was as if she had found her true sanctuary in this place. A soft breath escaped his lips, followed by a gentle sigh from her. My heart raced, leaving me uncertain whether it was the thrill of nerves or the sweet taste of anticipation. Perhaps a combination of the two. The bed let out a soft creak. Only a single time, just enough to signal that she had moved once more, lifting slightly, rearranging her stance as if she were finding her place next to him. Her movement flowed with a graceful ease. Her pace was nearly frozen, as if she yearned for each moment to linger just a bit more. His breath grew deeper, more subdued. He seemed absorbed, perhaps listening intently, reluctant to disrupt the unfolding moment. Yet she was completely unreserved. Each alteration she made appeared intentional. A subtle shift in the air, a soft murmur in the shadows. There was a certain longing in her heart for the moments spent in his presence. How well it resonated. He rendered it with such authenticity. I remained still, yet I found myself no longer merely an observer. My hand, nestled beneath the blanket, discovered the warm gap between his arm and his side. Not clutching, merely lingering in place. In an instant, his fingers intertwined with mine. He refrained from squeezing. He refrained from pulling. He clung to me as if he needed reassurance that I was still by his side. I paid heed to their words. The atmosphere in the room transformed, palpable and electric. As her breath became more delicate, his attention appeared to drift. Suddenly, a calm enveloped the crowd, as if an unspoken agreement had been reached. Silence reigns, stillness prevails. A serene moment lingered among the three of us. I shut my eyes, not in embarrassment, but with the understanding of what was to follow, and I was prepared for it. I failed to consider. I have just completed another rotation around the sun. The atmosphere was thick, as if the space had been holding its breath for far too long. She lingered close, serene and composed in the soft glow of the dim light. Her presence gentle, yet undeniably felt. He remained motionless beside her, as if the very essence of the moment would shatter with the slightest stir. I acted without a moment's pause. There is no sense of awkwardness. There is no doubt. I leaned into the moment, inching my way to their side, yearning for inclusion. The blanket stirred gently, yet no one responded, felt entirely familiar. It seemed inevitable. Not sure where it might lead, but I didn't pull away. My hand settled beside hers, and she shifted just enough to signal that she had sensed my presence. For a fleeting moment, her eyes locked onto mine, revealing a clarity that was utterly unguarded. It was as if she grasped all the words I struggled to express. Then I extended my hand toward him. My hand lay softly upon his chest. He turned his head, and for a fleeting moment, our lips brushed against each other. There was no pressing need. It lacked weight. It was unwavering, recognizable, as if we had inhabited this space countless times prior. Yet now there lingered an unarticulated tension between us. He reached out gently, his presence grounding me in the midst of uncertainty. Not to guide, but to draw me nearer. She shifted next to him once more, her motion subtle and fluid. She was not backing down. She was creating room. I inched nearer. Silence enveloped us. We failed to provide an explanation. There was no necessity for that. Our positions found their equilibrium effortlessly. Unscripted yet perfectly coherent. Every moment unfolded with clarity. There I was, nestled between them, calm and motionless, enveloped in a cocoon of warmth and consciousness. Once more her hand sought mine, the grip more resolute this time, imbued with certainty. The space seemed more confined, more gentle, a stillness that requires no demand for hush. It merely retains it. There existed neither rhythm nor urgency, only a profound sense of closeness. She made another adjustment. He made a subtle movement. I remained motionless. A sensation stirred within me, not abrupt or jarring but gradual and unwavering. It didn't arise from physical contact or motion, but from a profound sense of belonging, from the realization that I was no longer an outsider, from the warmth of feeling selected. That ignited a feeling within me that I had not anticipated. I angled my face toward the space that separated them, allowing my hand to lightly graze hers, while my other arm found its place across him. I found myself at the edge of understanding, a moment where connection mattered more than clarity, and for the first time it felt liberating not to distinguish between us. The room fell into an even deeper silence, a stillness that bore a heavy significance without any hint of strain. In that moment of stillness, tender and unguarded, I sensed a transformation within me. It was not a cacophony. It lacked any sense of drama. It simply found its place, and I allowed it to happen. In that serene instant, enveloped by their presence, I sensed a profound recognition. I experienced a sense of stability. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, a sense of completeness washed over me. Occasionally, the instant you feel truly recognized is one that catches you completely off guard. It transcended notions of control or permission. It was a matter of being welcomed in, and coming to the profound understanding that you had never truly been on the outside at all. Speak truthfully. Do you long to be there as well? What would you be engaged in if you found yourself in that position? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I shall immerse myself in the pages of a book. Before you go, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. Your support means the world to me. I appreciate your presence.